What's up guys, welcome back to another video. In this video we're going to be talking about God and how God created everything with purpose, including us. Like, God has created everything on this earth with purpose, and everything has a limitation and boundary and purpose to it. Like, animals are allocated to certain areas, oceans only are limited to certain ranges that they can go to, and certain bodies of space. And same thing, mountains are where they're supposed to be. Everything's where God wanted it to be, in a sense, and everything is orchestrated by God. And same thing for us. Like, a lot of the things are preordained for us depending on our past lives, depending on a lot of things, like what our, for example, innate talents are and gifts, and then those are kind of like, those come upon us, and that's usually what a lot of people end up pursuing, is what they're actually good at innately. Like, that's natural gifts and talents and abilities people have, and that's all that God has made for us. So everybody has a purpose. Somebody's good at singing, so that's something God gave that person, is the ability to sing well. And God has given a lot of abilities to people to like do certain things and have certain purposes, just like animals have a certain purpose. Animals are a bit simpler than humans, I guess, in that regard. Like, they don't have that higher consciousness that we have, so there's a bit of a different soul, you could say, mission in that sense. But for sure, like, God is always there with us and guiding us, and if you honestly let God guide you and do what he wants you to do in life, he'll be able to show you the right path to do your duty and purpose properly, instead of you kind of like willfully going around and trying stuff, wasting a bunch of time, because everybody has a destiny set for them, and we can only grow through life with God properly and do our proper duties and go through our proper destinies. God has destined everything for us, in a sense, like properly. Everybody has a certain thing they need to do in this world and fill the world with some kind of good things. Some people, obviously, there's bad people as well, and they have a purpose too. And some people just never change, and that's how it is, kind of like you have bad souls and good souls also. Some people are just inherently naturally bad, you could say, and that's probably never going to change for some people. But for the people that do change, this is mostly perhaps for those people on this video, they're probably going to see this anyway. So basically, what I wanted to say in this video is God has created everything with a purpose, including us, and you need to figure out that purpose with God, and I think God can show you that purpose. And you need to kind of dig a little bit, like, what are your innate talents and gifts and abilities, because that's where you can find what your purpose is, in a sense, and what you need to go after. It's not really a coincidence, in sense that, like, you would go to, I don't know, school to learn a certain skill, and you're attracted to that skill specifically, or you're an entrepreneur and you have a certain, like, making music videos, whatever, you're good at something naturally and it attracts you naturally. Like, you have this inner knowing that you're intuitively good at it, or you should be doing this. Like, that's usually where these things come from, is because you have that innate gift or talent or ability to do this, and you are suited for it. And that's kind of like where you can find your purpose if you're struggling to find your purpose in life. And I think seeking God, first of all, would help you a lot on that path, because God will be able to lead you and give you those, like, just listen to your intuition when you're working with God, and you'll be able to find your true life path and your higher self. Eventually, you just need to spend a lot of time contemplating and going through the motions, in a sense, and figuring things out over time. It's not going to happen in a day, obviously, but like, it's a long journey. Sometimes it has technically taken me years to do this journey that I'm now on, but like, and figuring myself out and doing inner works and so on. But like, I would say the main thing is, like, I still kind of knew from the beginning what, like, I like to do, like, whether it's like music or these videos and whatever. I still innately already knew, like, what that purpose was. It just kind of becomes clearer and clearer and clearer as you go on time, and some things change, even month to month or year to year. Like, what you're doing, things can shift, and you need to just go with the flow in that case, and kind of have this natural flow that also allows you to be adaptable to situations, and you don't always have to, like, be rigid. And that's kind of what's most important, is being able to kind of go with the flow of life and not being stuck. Because if you aren't able to go with the flow, you're probably going to get very upset by a lot of small stuff happening, like something going wrong or not something going according to your will, but you know, it's something God orchestrated for you. And this is why a lot of people get upset over small stuff, when something just goes wrong. And that's why you need to kind of like, that's part of submission to God also, is when you're with God and walking through in your faith, is not letting these small things hinder you, and just being able to submit and go with God where you're meant to. Because, you know, look at people like Job and Moses and Peter and all these people. These people also like walked, even though it was sometimes hard and yet they had a lot of trials, they had to go through those trials and, you know, come out to the other end with true faith and develop, you know. And it's not always easy to understand everything with God, you know, like everything you need to do. Sometimes you need to kind of do a lot of searching, you know, put the pieces together, and that way you can kind of figure out what you're supposed to do. And it might take a little bit of time, of course. Nothing happens like instantly, you know, necessarily overnight, like not like you're gonna learn a skill overnight or something like this. Like, that's kind of stupid. Some people are a bit delusional sometimes with those kind of things, like asking God for some kind of blessings or something, to learn something in a day or whatever. Something, people are also just kind of doing weird stuff. But yeah, I'm not gonna go on too much of a tangent, but yeah, just be kind of realistic on that aspect of your life, and remember that, you know, life is a journey, and finding your purpose and everything is important. But yeah, I hope this helps. It does well as well. God bless. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to donate, it's in the description. Thank you. And if you'd like to one-on-one with me, it is also in the description. Thank you.